Have you ever noticed how some moments, even now, can take your breath away, not from surprise but from a sense of wonder? Perhaps you're sitting quietly in the early morning, watching the golden sunrise filter through your window. Or maybe it's the sound of a grandchild's laughter, unscripted and honest. After 6 decades and more on this earth, there's an expectation that everything might look familiar. And yet, the world keeps offering us reasons to be in awe. Isn't that something remarkable? If you're finding yourself, at 65 or beyond, wondering if life still holds surprises, I want to invite you to explore that feeling with me today. Let's see what wisdom looks like when measured by our capacity for awe. First, I'd like to share an insight that may sound simple, yet is deeply profound. True awe often arises from everyday moments, not extraordinary ones. As children, it's easy to be awed by the size of the world. As we accumulate years and experiences, it can feel like we've already seen it all. But have we really? When's the last time you noticed the intricate pattern on a leaf, or the way an old melody stirs your deepest memories? At this chapter of life, awe asks us to slow down and truly see again. Try this. Next time you're out walking or sitting with your morning tea, let your attention rest on something small and let wonder in. Over time, this becomes a habit, one guaranteed to add richness to your days. It's natural, especially after a lifetime of responsibilities, to focus our energy on what's practical. But here's a second insight. Embracing awe keeps us mentally agile. When immersed in wonder, our minds open up, engaging our curiosity and creativity. Remember how, decades ago, a new invention or a work of art might have sparked your imagination. That doesn't have to end. I recall seeing my neighbor well into his 70s pick up watercolor painting for the first time. He marveled at the way colors blended on paper, describing each attempt as a new adventure. Consider choosing one thing each week: a book, a podcast, an art project that you know little about. Let yourself be inexperienced again. It keeps your mind and spirit nimble. Now let's touch on relationships. An often overlooked aspect of awe is how it connects us to others. Isn't it true that shared marvels, whether watching a meteor shower or hearing a beautiful piece of music, draw us closer together? If you think back over the decades, I'll bet some of your dearest memories are times of mutual wonder. This chapter of life gives us a special gift, the chance to guide others, young or old, into awe with us. Next time you're with family or friends, suggest a simple shared activity: a sunset walk, a trip to the museum, or a mindful moment in the garden. Afterwards, talk about what struck you most. This deepens not only the experience, but also your bond. If you get value from what we have presented, please like and subscribe to help us grow our channel, Ageless Intuition. Let's consider our well-being, not just the body, but the spirit as well. There's strong evidence, even in scientific circles, that regularly experiencing awe can reduce stress and increase life satisfaction. When in awe, our perspective often shifts away from everyday worries or aches. We begin to feel part of something larger and more meaningful. I encourage you to make space for awe rituals. Maybe an evening look at the night sky, or moments of silence before a meal. The act doesn't have to be grand, only genuine. Try jotting down a brief note about what struck you as beautiful or stirring each day. These simple records become powerful reminders on difficult days. A fifth insight: awe reminds us that our story is still being written. Sometimes there's pressure to settle for routine at this stage of life. But awe nudges us to look ahead with anticipation. To illustrate, let me share an example you might recognize. Imagine two people facing retirement. One treats it as an end, withdrawing from new experiences. The other treats it as the opening of a fresh chapter, seeking out new interests, perhaps even facing a challenge like traveling alone for the first time. The difference lies in perspective. By letting yourself be surprised and uplifted, by nature, by people, by beauty, you're giving yourself permission to keep growing, no matter the date on the calendar. Choose something new to try this month. It's never too late to be amazed by something you haven't yet done. A sixth principle: practicing gratitude for moments of awe cultivates contentment. We often think of gratitude as merely tallying up blessings, but what if it's more than that? Every experience of awe, a deep conversation, a glimmering dragonfly, a story that stirs your soul, becomes a kind of wealth. This isn't the wealth you deposit in a bank, but in the heart. Invite yourself, perhaps before bed, to recall 3 moments that made you pause, even for an instant that day. Savoring these recollections helps shift focus from limitations toward abundance, right here and now. Here's another idea, one that can feel almost radical. Let yourself experience awe in the mirror. We are often our own harshest critics, especially as the body changes. But consider all that you have weathered: good years, losses, triumphs, unexpected detours. Look at a recent photograph of yourself, or even your hands. Let yourself be awed by all they have built, healed, held, and sustained over time. Instead of lamenting the passage of years, celebrate the evidence of a life lived in full color. I invite you now to take a quiet moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you felt that surge of wonder, that humbling sense that you're part of something wide and mysterious? If you feel comfortable, share your story in our comments. Think of it as joining hands with a community of lifelong learners, explorers, and kindred spirits. Your voice adds wisdom we all benefit from. Lastly, let's remember that awe is good company for purpose. In moments when awe stirs us, we glimpse how our unique journey fits into the broader fabric of life. Perhaps you volunteered, mentored, or offered a listening ear. Maybe you find awe now in subtly different places, in the simple act of tending a plant, sharing a quiet afternoon, or listening to a loved one's dreams. Recognizing the awe and the meaning in these actions brings immense satisfaction. Consider how you might spend a little more time this week on pursuits or connections that give you that sense of higher purpose. If today's reflection has mattered to you, please like and subscribe to help grow our Ageless Intuition community. It's a way of joining others on a path toward even more meaningful living. You have gathered a lifetime of experience and wisdom, not by accident, but by the full-hearted way you have moved through the world. Being in awe at 65 or 75, or any age, isn't about seeking new miracles. It's about seeing with wiser, more grateful eyes. The insights we shared today, slowing down, nurturing curiosity, deepening relationships, caring for body and spirit, embracing newness, treasuring gratitude, honoring your journey, and feeding your purpose, are invitations to further enrich each day ahead. Thank you for sitting with me in this conversation. I hope you'll continue sharing your wisdom and stories, because your perspective matters. Together as a community, we can keep each other curious, grateful, and most of all, awed by the everyday magic of life. Thanks for watching. Tap that like button and subscribe if this brought you joy today. We're growing thanks to wonderful folks like you. Wishing you a peaceful day wrapped in warmth and love.